Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm going to be your facilitator for today. My name is Mr. Lwaz Khotya, and I'll be presenting to you a topic on substance abuse. Topic on substance abuse. The presentation is going to be 45 minutes long. I think let's just get right into it. Let's just get right into it. Just put this full screen. Okay, yeah, let's go. I want us to look at the outcomes of the lecture, of the class, if we might put it like that. Students are going to, the outcomes is that students are going to learn about the definition of substance abuse. They will equally learn about types of substance abuse, which is your most commonly abused products. We are also going to learn about the 4 cardinal pillars of substance abuse, its impact in our society, which is your substance abuse, prevention strategies of substance abuse. Those are the expected outcomes, which might make us to better understand what substance abuse is all about, and equally how do we prevent substance abuse going forward. The journal that we used is the Journal for Substance Abuse Treatment. Their definition is that the use of drugs, prescription medicine, over-the-counter medicine, or alcohol for the purposes of other than those which they are meant to be used. This is simply put as that substance abuse is whereby one uses drugs, prescription medicine, or over-the-counter medicine, or alcohol for the purposes for the purposes other than those for which they are meant to be used for. Now, if you buy, let's say, a particular drug in a chemist, and you smoke it, for example, the definition clearly tells you that you are abusing that sphere of the medicine. It's not supposed to be used for that. And that has serious repercussions for our own society. Because as we go further, it says that social, physical, and emotional and equal job-related problems may occur if you proceed and use these items that I had counted earlier. The 4 types of substances that are abused. Illegal substances such as ecstasy, cocaine, heroin, and cannabis. Some call it dagga, whatever way that you want to call it. Alcohol, prescription medicine, and glue and aerosols. Those are the four main commonly used substances for the purposes of our given topic today. This leads us to have a small discussion on the cardinal pillars of substance abuse. They are as follows: it's poverty, crime, unemployment, and inequality. And they will be discussed further in the following slides. Poor people in general tend to engage themselves in drugs and alcohol. The basis of that is the structural adjustment and issues of social mobility in our society. That explains it very well, is that poverty as a result of structural adjustment in our society might lead to people engaging themselves in drugs and alcohol. The survival mechanism for people is for them not to face their problems. They will prefer to be stoned to face the harsh realities in our society. The notion of poverty is not necessarily a notion that we're using because it's fashionable to do so. But these are the harsh realities in our society, whereby the majority of our people in the country live below the poverty line. So these people, when you look at even issues of social mobility, when you have an open system with regards to the South African economy, it tells you that people are able to move from one class to another class. But the difficulty in it is your past historical imbalances through apartheid and many other colonial and imperialistic policies that affected the country. So that's why when you can never detach substance abuse from poverty. Crime. The journal also spoke about substance abuse as being an anatomy of crime and drug lords at the center. All things criminal and illegal on the basis of drugs and alcohol, murder, rape, domestic violence, crimes are always on the basis of substance abuse. For instance, if you look at the most violent crimes in the country currently, they take place in these dens, the drug lords' dens. They are planned in these places. Subsequent to that, you've got your taverns, your clubs, your nightclubs. When you talk rape, you talk murder, you talk domestic violence, you can't detach again from such. So that details you in terms of how the criminal networks operate in the country. And again, this is one aspect that you cannot detach from substance abuse. Unemployment. We all know that South Africa is one of the countries that has the highest unemployment rate. Majority of our youth are unemployed and they have nothing to do except engaging on drugs. Again, these challenges are challenges that are facing the people of this country every day. So again, we cannot detach unemployment from substance abuse. They go hand in hand. Inequality. the gap between the rich and the poor continues to grow every day. Our country is one of the known countries that is more unequal than others in this world. The journal also claims that the upper class, which is the ruling class, is the one that owns the means for our people to engage in these activities of drug and alcohol abuse, which in the main we'll call it substance abuse. So again, you cannot detach inequality from substance abuse. The impact of substance abuse in our society, mental illness. These boys who smoke dick, these days they are called amaparapa. Obviously, the abnormal way of doing things, schizophrenia, which is considered as a mental illness, is as a result of such. And equally, the society that we're building is so dysfunctional to a point that through to drugs and alcohol abuse, you have child-headed households, let alone the fact that these happen through domestic violence as well. So the impact is much greatly felt by the poor again in the country. Not to withstand that the rich in the country also engage in these activities, but the majority of the affected is your poor. So the impact, and it has dire consequences for our society. For it to prosper, you need to deal with the issue at hand, the issue of substance abuse. So having said that, the impact is greatly felt, and yeah, that is the end of our session. I thank you. Obviously, I'll take questions if there are any. Thanks, man.